President Donald Trump is sending 1,500 troops to the Mexican border to boost security.
Thousands of migrants in Mexico are still desperately trying to enter the U.S. despite the president-elect's promise of harsher policies.
We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy.
Shocking raw footage has surfaced showing U.S. Marines ramping up security along the Mexican border, following President Trump's bold move to deploy 10,000 troops. The video captures soldiers installing barbed wire and fortifying walls in Tijuana's La Libertad neighborhood, sparking intense debates over border control. Meanwhile, Mexico's National Guard is stepping in with checkpoints and patrols, fulfilling a major immigration deal. This dramatic scene highlights the escalating efforts to tackle illegal crossings and enforce stricter border measures. Barbed wire installation.
The Marines are installing long sideways posts against the wall along with a lot of barbed wire. The troops who are sent there are part of an initial wave of military personnel.
Barbed wire, often called razor wire by some people, is a type of fence wire that has sharp edges or points set at short intervals. Many people use it for security, as it serves as a strong deterrent against intruders or wild animals. Over the years, barbed wire has become a common sight around borders, military bases, farms, and even private properties. Its installation may look simple, but it requires careful planning and knowledge to ensure it is safe and effective. When someone decides to install barbed wire, they must first measure the area. Proper spacing is key, and posts need to be installed at the right distance to hold the wire securely. Next, tension is applied to each strand of wire. This step is often tricky because too little tension means the wire might sag, and too much might cause the wire to snap. People often wear gloves and protective gear to prevent injury from the sharp barbs. In some places, barbed wire is considered a symbol of authority and security. It helps control movement and keeps certain spaces private or restricted. Yet it also raises issues about safety, as the sharp edges can harm both people and animals. Some communities have strict rules about how high and where barbed wire can be placed to protect passers-by from harm. Military involvement.
This is where some of the Marines who are being sent to the border here in San Diego are getting ready for their assignment.
Military involvement sometimes brings to mind large-scale wars and battles, but it can also refer to many other roles that soldiers and armed forces take on. In times of crisis, such as natural disasters, the military often steps in to help rescue people, provide supplies, and set up makeshift hospitals. This humanitarian work shows another side of soldiers, who are not only trained for combat, but also for aid and support. Their presence can bring order to chaotic situations, while their resources help speed up relief efforts. Beyond disaster relief, the military also takes part in peacekeeping missions around the world. In these operations, soldiers are stationed in conflict zones to protect civilians and maintain order, often working with international organizations. Their goal is to keep violence from escalating and to give local leaders a chance to discuss solutions. Although not always successful, peacekeeping missions can save countless lives by preventing further damage and giving communities the time they need to rebuild. For people living in war-torn regions, this support can be vital. Another key area of military involvement is security at national borders. Troops may be called in to help local authorities enforce laws, prevent illegal crossings, and manage possible threats. This part of military involvement can be controversial, as it often involves balancing security with human rights. Critics argue that using military force at borders can heighten tension, while supporters believe it is necessary to protect a country from external risks. Either way, soldiers who perform border duties are usually trained to handle tense situations while following strict rules. Border wall details. Border walls have existed throughout history, from the Great Wall of China to modern fences at various international boundaries. They typically serve as physical barriers intended to keep people and goods from moving freely across borders. Many walls are built for security reasons, often to reduce illegal migration or smuggling. These structures can be made of concrete, steel, or other tough materials, making them highly resistant to damage or forced entry. One key detail about a border wall is its height, which can sometimes reach over 30 feet. This height makes it harder for people to climb over. Another important feature is how deep the wall's foundation goes underground. Strong foundations are meant to discourage tunneling. In some cases, additional measures like sensors, cameras, and bright floodlights add layers of security, giving authorities enough time to respond quickly to any breach. Materials and structure vary from simple chain-link fences to reinforced steel beams. Some walls have slats that allow limited visibility between the two sides.
We learned very quickly with this to get very close to it. Because they couldn't see us, they would lob rocks over, it would miss.
This design helps patrol officers spot suspicious activity while still creating a strong barrier. Also, environmental factors matter. Heavy rain or shifting ground can create weak spots along the wall, requiring regular checks and repairs. Proper drainage systems and sturdy foundations help extend a wall's lifespan. Mexican National Guard presence. One noticeable shift in Mexico's security efforts is the growing presence of the Mexican National Guard. Created to tackle crime and protect borders, this new force unites members from the Army, Navy, and federal police to work together under one system. Their arrival signals a major change in how Mexico handles concerns like drug trafficking and illegal crossings. Many are watching closely to see if this strategy can deliver real results. In border regions, the Mexican National Guard sets up checkpoints, questioning drivers and inspecting cargo. This extra vigilance aims to catch smugglers and stop illegal crossings before they happen.
Mexican National Guard along the border to stop fentanyl smuggling, weapons trafficking, and illegal immigration.
Some people appreciate the heightened security, but others claim it causes delays and harms local business. Still, officials believe that without strict measures, criminals would exploit gaps and continue moving drugs, weapons, or even human cargo across the frontier. Inside cities, these troops may support local police in areas with high crime rates. By joining forces, they hope to clamp down on violence and reduce the spread of powerful drug cartels. However, some critics worry that adding military-style units to civilian policing may erode public trust and lead to abuse of power. The government insists proper training and oversight are in place to prevent harm and protect citizens' rights. High traffic area. High traffic areas are places where you can see large numbers of people or vehicles moving at almost any time. This could be a busy street in a big city, a popular shopping mall during sales, or a well-known border crossing between two nations. These zones often draw many individuals because of work, trade, or tourism. Their constant activity also means they are often noisy, crowded, and prone to congestion. One reason high traffic areas form is their strategic location. If a major road, railway, or flight path passes through a certain spot, many people will gather there. These places become hubs of commerce, offering shops, restaurants, and entertainment. Because of the large flow of visitors, local businesses can thrive. However, the downside is that crowds can cause delays, stress, and even security risks, especially during peak hours. Another effect of high traffic areas is the strain on infrastructure. Roads can experience constant wear and tear, leading to potholes and frequent repairs. Public spaces need extra cleaning, while city planners must find ways to reduce pollution. Overcrowded trains or buses can encourage some commuters to drive, which only adds to traffic congestion. Meanwhile, everyone still needs to move around efficiently, forcing governments to invest in better transport systems. President Trump's tariff threat. President Trump's tariff threat is among the most talked about moments. By publicly warning that he would impose high taxes on goods from certain countries.
In terms of tariffs, I mean, we're going to have tariffs, mostly reciprocal tariffs, where we go with, and I'm going to be probably meeting on that Monday or Tuesday, have an announcement, probably a news conference.
He hoped to gain advantages for the United States in disputes over trade, immigration, or security. Mexico was one such target, as he declared he would raise tariffs if the country failed to control illegal crossings or drug smuggling into the U.S. This bold move created serious economic concerns and sparked intense debate. One reason the threat gained so much attention was its impact on businesses and consumers. Companies feared higher costs for goods like fruits, vegetables, or auto parts, which many Americans buy every day. Mexico is a major trade partner, so any hike in tariffs could push up prices and strain global supply chains. Proponents believed it was necessary to pressure Mexico into taking more action on border security, while critics warned that new duties could hurt the U.S. economy and drive up living costs for ordinary people. When President Trump threatened to impose a 25% tariff on Mexican imports, not everyone agreed with his strategies. Some saw it as a misuse of power, arguing that trade policy should be separate from immigration concerns. Others praised him for acting decisively and claimed that the threat alone encouraged Mexico to send more National Guard troops to its northern border. As a result, Mexico and the United States reached an arrangement that delayed the tariffs, provided that certain targets were met. Observers saw this as a classic example of Trump's tough negotiation style. Mexico's commitment. Mexico's commitment refers to the country's promise to take stronger actions on issues like immigration, drug trafficking, and overall border control, often in response to international agreements or pressure from foreign governments. For example, Mexico pledged to deploy thousands of National Guard troops to its northern border to help monitor crossings and reduce illegal movement.
Convoy of Mexican National Guard and Army vehicles rolled along the border between Ciudad Juarez and El Paso, Texas, marking the deployment of the first batch of 10,000 troops to Mexico's northern border.
This move showed that Mexican leaders took outside concerns seriously. At the same time, they wanted to protect their own communities, foster safer conditions, and lower the risks posed by organized crime. The commitment also covers economic responsibilities. By agreeing to stricter measures, Mexico aims to maintain healthy trade relationships with partners such as the United States. In some cases, these promises emerged during negotiations to avoid harsh tariffs or potential political fallout. For instance, when President Trump threatened to impose steep tariffs on Mexican imports, Mexico stepped up border patrols and introduced new strategies to limit illegal entries. Officials believed that meeting certain demands would keep commerce strong while preventing tensions from bubbling over. Critics voiced concerns that improving border security could lead to a heavier police presence, raising questions about civil rights and everyday life. Others believe these moves help local communities by keeping violent groups at bay. Over time, fulfilled commitments can build trust between nations, creating a chance for better cooperation in areas like technology, education, or culture. Mexico's actions also send a message that it can shape solutions instead of allowing outside forces to dictate its policies. Overall, Mexico's commitment is a balancing act between meeting foreign expectations and defending its own national interests. By taking visible steps, the country shows it is serious about working with global partners while ensuring that its people feel safe. Border security efforts. Border security efforts are actions that governments take to protect their borders from unauthorized entries, illegal trade, and potential threats. These efforts often include the use of physical barriers, like walls and fences, as well as advanced technology such as drones, cameras, and sensors. By combining manpower with modern tools, countries hope to monitor and control who and what moves across their frontiers. This approach aims to reduce crime, protect national interests, and inform authorities about possible risks in real time. In recent years, border security has become a heated topic of conversation, especially in countries that deal with high immigration or smuggling problems. Modern technology makes it easier to detect unusual movement or suspicious cargo, but building that technology can be expensive. Governments might install sophisticated cameras or run facial recognition systems at checkpoints to quickly identify threats and allow the free flow of legal travelers. Critics worry about privacy concerns with these advanced methods, while supporters see them as necessary tools to maintain order. Physical barriers, like fences or walls, are another key part of border security efforts. These structures remind people of each nation's sovereignty, though some question whether walls actually solve core problems. While they may slow down or reroute illegal entries, issues like poverty, violence, and environmental damage can still push people to seek relief. As a result, many believe strong border security should go hand in hand with international cooperation, addressing the root causes that drive migration and crime. Deterrence measures. Deterrence measures are actions designed to make people or groups think twice before they break rules or commit crimes. These measures can take many forms, depending on the situation. For example, strong fences, frequent patrols, and advanced cameras can discourage illegal crossing at a border. High penalties and prison sentences can dissuade individuals from committing serious offenses. Even clear signage and warnings remind people that someone is watching, which can be enough to prevent some from stepping out of line. One important part of deterrence is visibility. If a potential lawbreaker sees evidence that they are likely to be caught or punished, they might think twice. Visibility can include uniformed guards, bright lights, and public announcements about strict penalties. While this may seem intimidating, the idea is to make the cost of breaking rules seem much higher than any possible gain. This strategy often works by targeting our natural fear of consequences. Another approach involves swift and certain punishment for offenses. When people know that a crime will be dealt with quickly, the threat feels more real. Slow or uncertain justice can weaken deterrence, as offenders might assume they can dodge punishment or benefit from delays in the legal process. Critics point out that focusing too much on punishment, rather than addressing root causes, can lead to overcrowded prisons or harsh laws that affect ordinary citizens. Supporters argue that a strong deterrent remains necessary for public safety, especially when dealing with serious crimes like terrorism or drug trafficking. Deterrence measures also rely on cooperation between different organizations. Police, military, and border enforcement agencies often share information and technology to strengthen their collective impact. With enough shared resources, they can better track potential threats and respond more effectively. This level of partnership can also help in training officers to handle situations with care, reducing the chance of misuse of force. Broader context. Broader context means looking beyond the immediate details of a situation to understand how various factors connect and influence one another. Imagine examining a single piece of a puzzle without seeing the entire image. You might never figure out where it fits. In the same way, people can miss important links when they focus too narrowly on one event or issue. By widening our view, we can spot patterns and causes that help us create more effective solutions. A broader context can also highlight hidden connections between social, economic, and cultural elements that shape our world. For instance, when discussing a policy decision, exploring its broader context might reveal how economic trends or social attitudes influence both the policy's aims and its outcomes. In politics, broader context helps explain why leaders make certain choices. While an action may seem sudden or extreme, it could be part of a larger strategy shaped by various interests. Economic conditions, public opinion, or international pressure might all play a role. By understanding these elements, we can better judge whether a move is wise or misguided. Beyond politics, the broader context applies to everyday life too. Individuals need to consider the impact of their choices on family, friends, or the community at large. When people fail to acknowledge these links, they risk creating new problems or overlooking opportunities for cooperation. The assassination of Vladimir Putin. Baba Vanga, often called the Nostradamus of the Balkans, made numerous predictions about global events, including an ominous vision for Russian President Vladimir Putin. The blind Bulgarian mystic, renowned for her alleged prophetic abilities, reportedly foresaw a dramatic attempt on Putin's life, orchestrated by someone within his own country. This prediction has stirred significant intrigue, given its implications amid Russia's geopolitical tensions and internal power struggles. Baba Vanga's followers claim many of her forecasts, like the September 11th attacks and the Kursk submarine disaster, came true.
Today marks 19 years since the 9/11 terror attacks, when 19 Al-Qaeda militants had hijacked 4 planes. They carried out suicide attacks against certain select targets in the United States.
While skeptics question the authenticity of these prophecies, her 2024 forecast about Putin's assassination adds to her mysterious legacy. Some interpret it as a warning of growing unrest and internal challenges in Russia, further increasing debates about her strange accuracy. This scary prophecy has captured global attention, raising questions. Could an insider's betrayal truly change the course of history? Or is this yet another cryptic tale tied to Baba Vanga's name? Only time will reveal the truth as we approach the year 2025. Conflict in mainland Europe. Baba Vanga's predictions about a major conflict in mainland Europe have sparked intense concern. She foresaw an escalation in tensions between nations, leading to devastating consequences for the population. With the ongoing geopolitical unrest, particularly the prolonged conflict between Russia and Ukraine, many interpret her vision as a warning of further upheaval in 2025. This could involve broader hostilities or even new powers entering the fray, causing catastrophic impacts on European stability. The chilling part? Vanga's predictions have often aligned strangely with real-world events, leaving many to wonder if Europe is on the brink of unprecedented turmoil. What do you think too? Earthquake in the United States. Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian mystic famed for her strangely accurate predictions, allegedly foresaw a catastrophic earthquake striking the United States. Though specifics like location or timing remain unclear, her followers believe this prediction could be linked to the heightened seismic activity across the country. Baba Vanga, who is said to have foreseen events like the Chernobyl disaster, warned that this earthquake might result in widespread devastation and loss, affecting countless lives, countries.
One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died.
But that's not all, because the mystic's followers also point out her broader prophecies for 2025, which include major natural disasters and global turmoil, heightening fears about such an event. So while skeptics question the validity of her predictions, the possibility of an earthquake in the U.S. isn't far-fetched, given the numerous fault lines, including the San Andreas Fault in California. Messages from space. Interestingly, Baba Vanga's prediction about messages from space suggests that humans might receive signals or communication from extraterrestrial beings in 2025, something that could forever change the way we understand life beyond our planet. But what makes this forecast especially intriguing is its specificity. These messages are believed to come during a major global event, such as the Super Bowl or Wimbledon. While some view it as a hopeful sign of universal connection, others fear the unknown intentions of such communication. But this prediction aligns with her broader vision of a future where humanity faces both technological breakthroughs and catastrophic events. She's saying that we could potentially witness an era of contact with alien civilizations. Now, this idea of receiving messages from space taps into fears and hopes about humanity's place in the universe. Could we truly be on the brink of discovering intelligent life elsewhere? According to Baba Vanga, these cosmic events could open up a new chapter for humanity. So are we ready for what may come from the stars? Vanga's words urge us to consider the possibility that the future holds mysteries far beyond what we currently understand. We are now left to wonder if this event could redefine humanity's place in the cosmos, or if it might bring unforeseen challenges, but only time will reveal the truth behind this fascinating prophecy. If you think this is hard to believe, this next prediction will shock you even more. Terrorist attacks in Europe. Baba Vanga's prediction of terrorist attacks in Europe for 2025 has sent chills down the spines of many. The blind mystic warned of coordinated attacks targeting major cities, causing widespread chaos and fear. These acts, she claimed, could reshape Europe's political and social existence, leading to increased security measures and strained international relations. Now, given the current state of global unrest, this prediction feels alarmingly plausible.
The attacks today came just days after the arrest of a fugitive from the November attacks in Paris, which killed 130 people.
Europe has faced such threats before, but Baba Vanga's vision suggests something larger, more devastating, and potentially unprecedented. Her track record of foreseeing key global events adds weight to these chilling words. What makes this prophecy particularly unsettling is the lack of specifics. Which cities will be affected? Who might be behind these attacks? These unanswered questions leave a looming sense of dread as we all look forward to the year 2025 when we might have the answers. The mysterious tsunami in Asia. Talking about global unrest, It looks like Asia might be in for a long ride in 2025, as Baba Vanga's prediction of a mysterious tsunami in Asia has sparked fear and fascination. According to her vision, an unprecedented natural disaster will strike in 2025, causing massive destruction across coastal regions. This event is described as mysterious because it won't follow the usual triggers like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Instead, it might be tied to an unknown or unexpected force, leaving scientists baffled. The tsunami's impact, as foreseen by Vanga, could devastate entire cities, displacing millions and creating a humanitarian crisis on an unimaginable scale. Countries across Asia may struggle to recover from this catastrophe, potentially reshaping the region's geography and economy. If Vanga's prediction comes true, this tsunami could go down in history as one of the most shocking and mysterious disasters ever witnessed. Are we ready for this too? The dragon that will take over. Baba Vanga's prophecy about the dragon that will take over has captured global curiosity. According to her vision, a powerful force symbolized by a dragon will rise to dominate the world in 2025. Many speculate this dragon represents a major nation in the East, often interpreted as China, due to its symbolic association with dragons. Others believe it could signify a new global superpower or an emerging entity that challenges the existing world order. But what makes this prophecy strange is its resemblance to biblical symbolism. In the Book of Revelation, a dragon represents a powerful force capable of global influence, often bringing both awe and fear. Could this be a modern parallel to that ancient text? As China's influence grows in technology, trade, and geopolitics, believers argue Vanga's words are coming true, but skeptics suggest her dragon might symbolize a deeper, more mysterious power. So with 2025 approaching, many are watching closely to see if this prophecy unfolds. And like many of Baba Vanga's visions, the interpretation rests on the unfolding events of our time, keeping millions glued to the possibilities. New cure for Alzheimer's and cancer.
A new Alzheimer's drug will soon hit the market after gaining FDA approval today. Donanemab is meant to slow the rate of a brain's decline in the early stages of the disease.
If there are any of Baba Vanga's prophecies that have inspired both hope and speculation, it is that of a groundbreaking cure for Alzheimer's and cancer in 2025. According to her vision, humanity would unlock medical breakthroughs so advanced they could transform life expectancy and quality of life. This cure, she suggested, wouldn't come from traditional science alone, but from a combination of technology and natural remedies, and for humanity, the implications are quite enormous. For Alzheimer's, it could mean the end of memory loss and the restoration of cognitive function for millions, and for cancer, the cure might finally defeat a disease that has claimed countless lives. What's even more fascinating is the idea that this medical revolution could come from unexpected sources, perhaps linked to discoveries deep within nature or the cosmos. Today, scientists are racing to find solutions. In Alzheimer's research, there are promising new treatments focused on clearing toxic proteins in the brain. Clinical trials are showing potential in therapies like anti-amyloid drugs and gene therapies. For cancer, immunotherapy has been a major breakthrough, harnessing the body's immune system to fight tumors more effectively. Plus, personalized medicine is allowing doctors to tailor treatments based on genetic makeup, improving success rates. While no cure has been found yet, the progress made is astonishing. So if this prophecy is true, it could be humanity's greatest triumph, offering hope to those who have waited for a miracle. So as scientists race against time, only 2025 will reveal whether Vanga's prediction will change history or remain an unfulfilled dream. Death of a young leader, Alexei Navalny. This next prediction will leave you no less shocked. Baba Vanga's chilling prediction about the death of a young leader, widely believed to refer to Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, has raised many eyebrows. Vanga foresaw that a prominent political figure would meet a tragic end mysteriously and suspiciously. Navalny, known for his vocal opposition to Russian President Vladimir Putin, was poisoned in 2020 and barely survived. Many fear that Baba Vanga's prophecy could come true shortly, as tensions around his activism continue to rise. Her followers have always believed her predictions are often accurate.
Blind mystic Baba Vanga says the end of the world will begin in 2025.
When she became blind, it is as if her other senses developed to receive messages and information about the future,
especially in matters of power and conflict. But the strange part of this prediction is how it echoes the mysterious circumstances surrounding the deaths of other high-profile leaders throughout history. So what's the fate of this young leader? Could Navalny's fate be sealed, as Vanga predicted, by forces beyond his control? Or will this powerful prophecy go unfulfilled, leaving us to question the true meaning behind her words? As the world watches, people are eager to know if this prophecy is a warning of something inevitable, or simply a chilling prediction of what could happen next in the world of politics. Economic crisis. Baba Vanga's prediction of an economic crisis in 2025 is both alarming and fascinating. She foresaw a financial collapse that would shake the global economy, leading to widespread poverty and turmoil. The crisis, according to Vanga, would not only affect banks and markets, but also devastate everyday life for people worldwide. With rising debt, inflation, and political instability, many wonder if her prediction could result from current global economic trends. They wonder if this crisis could stem from an unforeseen event, or if it will be the tipping point of an already fragile financial system. But the unsettling part of Vanga's vision is its timing. 2025 seems to be a pivotal year for the world's economy. As we face growing challenges in the financial world, her warning has many believing that a reckoning may be inevitable. If her prophecy proves true, it could change the course of history, leaving nations scrambling to recover. We seriously hope this doesn't happen, though. Climate change. Moving away from the state of the economy, Baba Vanga has also predicted climate change, and this prediction is both chilling and urgent. She warned that by 2025, the planet would face extreme weather events, leading to devastating environmental disasters. Rising temperatures, unpredictable storms, and floods would become more frequent, altering ecosystems and displacing millions of people. Vanga's vision suggested that these changes would force governments to take drastic action, but it may be too little, too late. So as global temperatures continue to rise, many wonder if her prophecy could be a dire warning of what's ahead. If we are truly headed for an irreversible environmental collapse. The world's leaders are struggling to address climate change, but Vanga's prediction reminds us that the clock is ticking. If her words are true, the next few years could be critical for the survival of our planet. Not stopping at her prediction of designer humans, Baba predicted that natural births will ultimately end this year, as humans will be completely reliant on laboratory babies. I agree that there is a possibility of humans tilting to science babies, especially after some successful attempts. However, we still have a long way to go in accepting it entirely, considering that the consequences, cons, and extent are unknown. Even if there were to be an agreement, it would take years or even forever for all humans to agree in unison. So, this projection seems unlikely to arrive,